What's up, sneak peekers? It's Kelsey Leffingwell. You're joining us live for our 24/7 episode. So at any time tonight, be sure to go to donate to studentvoices.org. And so tonight we have a special episode for you, and I'll give it to Grace to introduce it.
I'm Grace, and so for today's Sneak Peek Special 24/7 episode, we have a Pixar movie bracket where each of our sneak peekers will be repping one of these movies. So we have Mason, Emily, and Sydney here to judge, and we'll get started with the panel soon.
Hey sneak peekers, it's Judge Mason.
I'm Emily.
And Judge Sydney.
And tonight we are super excited to work through our Pixar bracket. Starting off, our first fighters are Ermino representing WALL-E and Sydney representing Cars. Now each fighter will have 1 minute to introduce their points, kind of outline their movie, then we'll give them each a minute to fight. So without further ado, we will send it over to the fighters. Y'all ready?
Okay, so I guess I'll take it away. Cars truly encompasses the ideals of what America should be. We see a man, he is at his high, then a challenge, making him take a step back, reevaluate his life. He's brought back to nothing. We need to teach our children that no matter what, you can do what you want to do. We see Tow Mater, a humble American boy. We're all humble American boys. And then he becomes a Piston Cup helper. He helped Lightning McQueen win that cup. Without that, yep. So, I feel like there's not much more to argue about the topic of Cars because everyone's seen it. We all know it is the best Pixar movie, and I'm tired of the disrespect of it.
Okay, I totally agree with everything you just said. Except the one thing is, I'm not arguing about a movie. I'm arguing about a masterpiece, which is WALL-E. And WALL-E is the best masterpiece there is out there because it has everything you just described. WALL-E is a humble man who grew up in, like you said, America. He is possibly the most cutest character in all of Pixar. He is a car, essentially, even, because he has wheels. I mean, what's there more to say about WALL-E except that WALL-E is... We are all WALL-E. I am WALL-E. And if we are all WALL-E, then how could WALL-E not be the best? I don't think there's anything else that has to be said.
Movieimageeducation.org states that the setting allows the characters and the audience to connect. Let's leave NASA, let's leave space to them. Because I've never been to space, you've never been to space. Who's been to space? None of us. We cannot connect with the audience, we cannot connect with them. How are we? WALL-E speaks beep boop. I don't even know what he's saying half the time.
Whoa. Getting a little heated in the fight. So, I think with those introductory rounds over, we're gonna deliberate for a second, and we'll be right back with your results.
That was a compelling argument I just saw from both parties. I mean, WALL-E does speak beep boop, but, you know, we're all WALL-E. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Kelsey?
I mean, I love Mater,
Same.
but WALL-E does go beep boop.
True.
So it's hard to say which one I think won, because I believe that they both had compelling arguments.
I agree. And at first, you know what? If I had to make my predictions, I would have given it to Cars just for Life as a Highway. But WALL-E and the beep boop is giving it a run for its money.
I know.
All right, let's see what the judges have to say.
All right, so we do have a final decision on this round, and it is Cars.
Congratulations to Cars and Sydney. But with that, we are going to prep for our second round of the final introductory fights, and we're gonna send it back to our commentators.
So WALL-E's done. I guess that means we have to rip it off the whole board. I'm sorry.
What a great round. Cars really pulled the statistics in there.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was very hard to argue with
It was
that.
a close call.
Yeah.
No.
Our next round, we're gonna have Robbie fighting for Ratatouille and Nick fighting for Toy Story. So, let's see what the judges have to say
after their arguments,
Yep.
which we'll see right now.
Yeah.
And here we are already. Now this is going to be a pretty epic one. So gentlemen, you each have 1 minute to introduce your movies. Let's go ahead and start with Robbie and Ratatouille.
He is a rat that can cook. He is a rat that can cook. Remy, he gets on Linguini's head and he pulls the hair and he cooks. He cooks. It's just like Gusto said. Anyone can cook. A great chef can come from anywhere. And you're just some toys. Toys. You're just some little plastic figurines. Just go take your plastic figurines and put them in a glass bottle where they belong. And meanwhile, Ratatouille, Remy, we will cook. We will cook food. We will cook good food for the French and for America. Oh.
Good, and now, Nick, your introductory statement.
Well, I don't know about cooking, but I do know Toy Story 2 is the greatest sequel ever made in the history of cinema. And it's a story about purpose, and it's a story about growing up and what it's like to just be a toy and have somebody who wants you and to not feel unwanted. And I mean, if anybody can cook, what makes the rat so special, more special than a toy who has friends and a family and people who love him? You missed what Anton Ego said at the end in his magnum opus speech. Not anyone can cook, but a great chef can come from anywhere. And Ratatouille, it doesn't need a sequel. It's a complete whole package all in one. It is a whole package, and it tells the story of a young rat ostracized and outcasted by the whole world. And toys, they're loved. Rats, they're hated. And yet Remy finds something. He finds a purpose. He finds something that makes him accepted by the world. Cooking, and he's darn good at it, if I do say so myself.
Nick, your response.
My response, I don't know. I still believe that if anybody can cook, then the rat isn't so special. Meanwhile, Woody is the most special toy of all. He's your friend. He's your partner. He's always going to be there for you. And Woody's always going to be there for Andy, just like he'll be there for any other kid he belongs to.
Yeah, just like a part in Toy Story 4, where he decided, I don't want to be a toy anymore, and then he went off with Bonnie at the theme park. Yeah.
Well, I'm in 1999, not 2020, all right? This is about Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2 is the greatest sequel of all time, not Toy Story 4. That's why I'm here defending Toy Story 2.
And with that, I think we will conclude the Toy Story 2 versus Ratatouille introductory debate, and we will deliberate.
That was pretty cutthroat.
Yeah.
I mean-
absolutely know who won the heart and soul of that argument.
There was passion.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
I have only seen Robbie edit with passion, but that argument,
Now I've seen him go to Pat for his friend Remy.
oh yeah.
Whew, yeah, I don't know. I'd put my money on Robbie, but it's anyone's game.
Yeah, both wonderful movies.
Yeah. Well, let's see what the judges had to say.
This was a difficult one, but
It truly was. But for round 2, we have chosen Ratatouille.
congratulations to Robbie. Now we can send it back to Grace and Kelsey. What do y'all think this will have for the competition?
All right. Well, I guess
sorry,
this one's
Nick.
coming down.
Yeah. Ooh, God, that was cutthroat, but I can see why Robbie won. He really had some passion there, so I'm happy to see him going through to the next round. You know.
I think that both movies were great. Both arguments were very strong.
Yeah.
But I think that Robbie just came through with that
Yeah.
one.
This next one's a bit of a toss-up, though. You know, we have two beloved movies, Monsters University and Coco. So I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see what they argue about it, but I can't even choose my favorite.
Yeah. See what the judges have to say.
Alrighty, y'all, and we're here for round 3, and we're going to be going with Hunter from Monsters University and Claire for Coco. Hunter, we'll start with you.
Who would have thought walking into a theater in 2013 that Pixar and their team were able to craft the greatest college film ever made? But that's exactly what Dan Scanlon and his team did. They made the greatest college film of all time and made it rated G on top of that, which is probably an even greater challenge due to the nature of college. This isn't only a great college movie, but it's also probably the best prequel ever made. It's the funniest Pixar movie. It's got a killer voice cast with Nathan Fillion, Aubrey Plaza, Alfred Molina, Helen Mirren, John Krasinski. I mean, I could go on and on. But what perhaps the greatest feat of Monsters University is the message. Who would have thought that in a movie aimed for kids, we would get a message that, you know, college isn't for everyone. Sometimes you don't make it to your dreams. Sometimes you'll fail, but that's okay. Just like Uzma Kappa taught us. You know, and that's the most important lesson in it all, is that like sometimes you're not going to achieve what you want, but still keep aiming. That's what Sully and Mike do in this film. They keep getting hit with setback after setback, but they're not going to give up on their dreams. They're not going to give up on their goals, and that's okay while still failing at them. And I think there's beauty in that, and it's something so important and complicated to teach children. And Monsters University tackles that in such a delicate and important way.
You know what, Hunter? You're right. That is a very important message. And not only is it also seen in Coco, there's an even stronger message in Coco. It's about family. It's about your dreams. Poor Miguel wants to be a musician so badly, and he has to struggle hiding in his little... Oh my God, sorry. This Coco gets me really emotional, you know? Hiding out, playing guitar by himself. He has to run away to the land of the dead to fulfill his dreams. It's a message of trying to convince your family of who you are, love them, love each other about who you are, accept their dreams. And not only is the message beautiful, like crying at the end when Mama Coco finally remembers her father, when she finally sings, are you going to tell me that's not the most emotional Pixar scene in your life? Because it is. And it's beautiful. It took 6 years to make, and it paid off. When you see that scene of Miguel walking across the flower bridge and seeing the land of the dead for the first time, it's breathtaking. Everything about it is just amazing, has a beautiful message, beautiful music, beautiful cast honoring a beautiful culture, and I just don't think that there's anything to argue about that.
Yeah, I liked Coco better in 2013 when it was called The Book of Life, which had a far more original take on Dia de los Muertos, a more unique animation style, a far better story, and a better voice cast. Coco's great. It's entertaining, it's emotional, but it's that classic late-stage Pixar. Pixar just can't help themselves but make it so overly emotional. Yes, of course we cried at the end when they sang, because that's exactly what Pixar wanted us to do. They learned to manipulate your emotions and make it exactly what you wanted. And we're going to overshadow the rest of the movie before the ending's great. In the middle of that movie, there's a solid 45-minute chunk where it just kind of meanders. Not much happens. There's one good song in Poco Loco. And other than that, they're kind of just wandering around the land of the dead. And it's beautiful animation. I'm not going to fight you on that. It's stunning, but it's meandering.
Well, it's also developing the storyline. You see Miguel and Hector get close, and if you're watching Coco for the first time, you're not going to know that that's his grandfather or great-grandfather, and you're seeing this connection between these two people grow over time, and you see this heart-wrenching plot twist that, again, is one of the most intense plot twists, I think, in Pixar history. Ernesto de la Cruz is not his great-grandfather. You see all of this heartbreak and turmoil that Miguel goes through. It's not just 45 minutes of meandering and, oh, pretty sequences. No, it's building an intense storyline that just rips everything you ever thought about what would happen at the end out of your hands, and I think that's what makes the ending so special.
And that's time. Thank you both so much for those epic arguments. Great points raised.
Yeah.
A lot to deliberate on.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to send it back to Grace and Kelsey.
That was pretty intense.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the most concrete points we've heard all day, I think.
Arguments like these make me glad that I am not a judge right
Same.
now.
Same. I hate to admit it, I've never seen Coco, but Claire was delivering some facts right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I could never imagine like two different movies being paired up against each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard because Coco's has, you know, music in it and Monsters Inc. doesn't, so
But
it's hard to
it has
argue,
monsters, so
but,
you
yeah,
know.
they both have wonderful things, but it's just so hard to pit them against each other,
Yeah.
see who's gonna win. So I think the judges are really gonna have to make a big decision on this.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't choose.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see what the judges have to say.
All right, so for round 3, we do have our winner, and we have chosen Coco.
Congratulations, Claire. Alrighty, we're gonna get ready for the next round and head it back to hosts.
Whew. Hunter, I'm sorry. It's a that is a tough blow, but Claire was delivering some facts, so glad to see her have a win tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But next, this is a tough one because I do love both of these movies.
So let's see who has the better argument, Inside Out or Luca. Let's head over to the judges.
And with that, and a lovely entrance to our next round, we will be watching as Andrew fights for Inside Out and Amanda fights for Luca. So we're gonna throw it over to Andrew first.
What's up, sneak peekers? I'm Anger from Inside Out, the best Pixar movie ever made. Not only the best Pixar movie ever made, but one of the most emotionally intelligent movies that I've seen, and one of the most important movies that I think all children, young adults, and elderly people should all watch. It is such an important piece of media that everyone can not only relate to, but take something and learn from it. I think that Inside Out has the best message of any Pixar movie because it revolves around a human condition of handling your emotions. And especially in a time, rewatching it like now, post-pandemic, or still in the pandemic, but coming to the end of it, watching it a couple years ago when it first came out, when I was a freshman in high school, all of these times were such important times for me to really understand my emotions, and I learned so much from this movie. Besides that, I think that this has one of the most realistic main characters in a Pixar movie out of most of them. And even some people debate that her choices of running away were somewhat crazy or not realistic, but come on. All of us have once debated about running away. Many of us have tried it before riding our bikes 5 minutes away and then giving up. But that's something that all of us can relate to, and we understand the emotions why, and we understand exactly how she feels in that moment. And come on, the ending where we finally learn that to have great core memories, you need a mix of happiness and sadness, and those core memories in her head are mixed together, and she finally understands how to blend those emotions. That is one of the most I've bawled in a movie ever. And I think it's so well done, intelligent, and soft. It's so soft, makes me feel so soft. Besides that, the soundtrack. The soundtrack is so good. Dun, dun, da 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 dun, dun. I'm sure you all know it. It's so catchy, it's so nostalgic feeling. It makes me feel like I'm a kid again, while also still relating to it in my time now. Overall, I think it's one of the best movies with a great message, great music, and great main characters.
I think you have some very strong points, except I'm going to have to disagree. I do not remember the Inside Out soundtrack at all, and I'm sorry for any audience members that agree with him. But I guess there's not much else to say, except that Luca, I would say, is even more mature and like intelligent than that. Because it's a deceitfully simple movie about a sea monster that wants to go to the surface, and he meets friends and he overcomes obstacles, and you don't think there's much to it, except that this movie is such a good movie to teach kids about acceptance. And especially like in some places, kids grow up with like certain mentalities that they get from like their parents or culture, or like their community, and seeing a movie that's just like all about acceptance and love and friendship, I feel like that's something that some kids are just not exposed to, and it's so important for them to see. And I would say that the Luca soundtrack could be even more iconic. I remember some scenes just like took my breath away, along with the cinematography, which I'm sure as fellow film majors, we can agree Luca was a beautiful movie.
Andrew, your response.
I have many responses. I agree with you on some of those things, that the animation style of Luca is great. However, that doesn't add anything to the story. And I think that Luca does have some important lessons. But I think all the lessons that you can learn in Luca, acceptance, friendship, taking a leap of faith, can all be found in Inside Out, but done in a more realistic manner with a human rather than a sea creature. Also, some other problems that I have with Luca is this movie takes place in Italy, and it features two main boy characters. It has so many similarities to Call Me By Your Name. And Call Me By Your Name is a great movie, but at the end of Luca, when they don't end up together, I feel like the whole thing was a bit of queer baiting, which I think is a big problem in Hollywood and is just not a thing that this film should do. I also think that Luca is a little slow, and some of the characters aren't as likable. I'm not a huge fan of the best friend. While in Inside Out, I'm a fan of Riley. I understand what she's going through, and I understand and recognize the importance of every single emotion. And I'm a fan for all of them. And it's crazy how great Inside Out is, because sadness, such a terrible feeling that no one likes feeling, anger, you find good in all of those characters, and at the end of the day, you're rooting for them. You want all of them to work together and come as one. And I think that's another great thing that Inside Out does that lacks in Luca.
I agree. I definitely, the first time I watched it, I was like, yeah, there's definitely some queer baiting going on, which I hate. But then I was looking deeper after the 20th time I watched this, and I realized because they don't explicitly say the characters are the director left it queer, or I mean they left it vague on purpose, or it wasn't intentional to leave it not say specifically what was going on there. But then I was like, there's a scene where the grandma says, not everybody will accept him, but there's some people who will. That to me made me cry, because I'm like, that's such a feeling I feel like a lot of people in the queer community understands to and relates, that I'm like, wow, there will be people out there who support and love me. And speaking about the plot, I feel like Luca did a really good job of, pulling at your heartstrings, having funny moments, having sad moments. But the sad moment was Luca, spoiler alert, Luca betrays Alberto and then makes up to him in the end. But how did Inside Out do it? Didn't they kill Bing Bong?
No.
Wasn't that a whole scene, and it was very
Bing Bong sacrificed himself because he knew that Riley needs to mature, and that it was great for her emotional awareness and intelligence.
Whoa,
and it was
but
something
he dies.
big.
Don't bring Bing Bong into it.
Bing Bong, who's your friend who likes to play?
I
And he's
think
dead.
that's enough. That's enough of that. Okay. Some great points made. A lot for us to think about.
Do it.
Yeah.
Low blow with Bing Bong.
Yeah.
I've never cried harder than when Bing Bong
Yeah.
sacrificed himself.
When I need to cry, I will go look up that video on YouTube. Instantly. Just bawling. Instantly.
Instant waterfalls. I mean, I did think they both had some good points.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think that Andrew's eyebrows, however, really held up the argument.
If I were choosing based off eyebrows, I would have to go with Andrew.
Oh yeah. Out of everyone.
Yeah, I mean, they did have good points. Luca did bear a lot of similarity to Call Me By Your Name, which I noticed. But, I guess we'll just have to see what the judges think.
All right, so for round 4, we have chosen Inside Out.
And that concludes our introductory rounds. We're going to send back to the host and get ready for the semifinals.
All right, and that marks the end of round 1. I'm sorry, Amanda. Andrew beat you this time. So just to recap this round, going into round 2, we have Sydney representing Cars, Robbie representing Ratatouille, Claire representing Coco, and Andrew representing Inside Out. Who could ever forget those eyebrows?
I know. But it's going to be hard to say who is going to win.
I know.
Between all of them.
God, I know.
Really tough. All of them are super passionate about all of their arguments. It's
Clearly.
It's just so hard to choose because all of these are great movies too.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to choose one, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Oh,
honestly.
same. Based on costume though?
Ooh, based on costume. Yeah. Gotta go to Andrew.
Andrew or Robbie.
True. Yeah, Robbie might have some tricks up his sleeve. We never know. I mean, I'm glad to see him going into the next round because you never know what he's gonna pull out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never know.
I don't know. We're just gonna have to see. It looks like Cars is up against Ratatouille and Coco's against Inside Out. So we're gonna have a cutthroat competition going into the final round.
Yeah. Our next bracket, however, will be Cars and Ratatouille. So let's head over to the judges to see what they have to say.
Alrighty guys, so we're heading into the semifinals, ready to see what everyone comes up with. But now our fighters will have a minute and a half to deliberate and share what they think is the best. So for round 1, we've got Robbie back with Ratatouille and Sydney back with Cars. And Sydney, is that a new shirt I see?
Yes, thank you for noticing. So basically, now that I have described what Cars is, you may be thinking, this doesn't sound like it's for me. That's not the type of movie I like. Well, you're wrong. What other movie encompasses every single genre known to movie history? We got sci-fi, Cars Can't Talk, for now. Romance, Sally and Lightning McQueen, kind of cute. We have thriller. Is Lightning McQueen gonna get ate by the mowing machine? We don't know. We have drama. Will Lightning McQueen make it to the Piston Cup? So basically, what I'm saying is, it has something to offer for every type of audience. On top of that, it's again an amazing movie, as some other movies have mentioned. Beautiful, 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 beautiful animation. The scenery, top of the line. And so yeah, what do you think? Okay, preach.
In many ways, the work of a critic is easy. We risk very little, yet enjoy position over those who offer up their work and themselves to our judgment. We thrive on negative criticism, which is fun to write and to read. But the bitter truth we critics must face is that the grand scheme of things, the average piece of junk is probably more meaningful than our criticism designating it so. But there are times when a critic truly risks something, and that is in the discovery and defense of the new. The world is often unkind to new talent, new creations, the new needs, friends. Last night, in my whole life, I experienced something new, an extraordinary movie from a singularly expected to be honest source. To say that both the meal and its maker have challenged my preconceptions about fine filmmaking is a gross understatement. They have rocked me to my core. In the past, I have made no secret of my disdain for Chef Cousteau's famous motto, anyone can cook. But I realize, only now do I truly understand what he meant. Not everyone can become a great artist, but a great artist can come from anywhere. It is difficult to imagine more humble origins than those of the genius now cooking at Cousteau's, who is, in this critic's opinion, nothing less than the finest chef in France. I will be returning to rewatching Ratatouille soon, hungry for more.
Okay.
Sydney, your response.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know half of what you just said, and I feel like the audience can agree. We are here to debate. You have to speak to everyone's level here, and I'll be honest, I don't speak French. So let's let the audience first. I'm sorry. I am so incredibly sorry. And on top of that, anyone can cook. I burnt my broccoli last night. The fire alarm was ringing. Not everyone can cook, and I recognize that. On top of that, he's a rat that can cook. Why can't he make something good? Ratatouille is tomatoes. It is literally tomatoes and mushy vegetables. Disgusting. If anyone can cook, why can't a rat that can cook make a real meal? Lasagna.
Just like cars, you seem to lack ears. Not anyone can cook, but a great chef can come from anywhere. A great chef can come from the slums. A great chef can come at the top. A great chef can come from the attic of an old woman's home. Like a rat named Remy, voiced by one and only Patton Oswalt, who is a national treasure, not just in America, not just in France, but the whole world.
Well, I do have to say, it's a little misleading that anyone can cook. Well, okay, well, again, no. Furthermore, we see the plot of Ratatouille in every single Pixar film, and I'm tired of it. I am tired of seeing, oh man, I can't do something. Oh man, my family doesn't like me. And then going and finding somebody who will accept him. It's the same plot repeated over and over again. Lightning McQueen, we hate him. He sucks. He gets brought back to Radiator Springs and becomes a hot, sexy car man. And I think we should appreciate the fact that Pixar finally stepped out of the Pixar box in Cars. We never see that anywhere else. So why don't we stop recycling the same plot over and over again? Because I'm tired of it. The audience is tired of it. We don't need 25 of the same movies.
The thing is, though, Ratatouille was among the first to adopt this model, and the execution of such model is grand, it's bliss, it is Kino! And It is so well delicious. It is such a fine dining experience. Ratatouille is just yummy. I just want to take the DVD and just...
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and break from that.
Great arguments, you guys. But
Beautiful.
we have a lot to talk about, so we're going
Beautifully
to send it back to the
spoken.
commentators.
Yes.
That was a lot.
I don't even know where to begin. To talk about what just happened.
When Robbie started playing the music, that was crazy. I mean, I thought he had it there, but then Sydney came back with a strong rebuttal, and she was right. Quite honestly, I did not understand half of what he was saying.
I don't even know who the judges are going to choose for this.
Me either.
Because if I were a judge right now, I would be torn.
Yeah. If I had to pick my favorite moment from the last 5 minutes, it would be when Sydney called Lightning McQueen a hot, sexy car. Man, that alone, I may have to give her my vote. If I had one, I'd give it to her for that.
Oh, yeah.
That had me giggling.
Yeah, hopefully she brings out the Rascal Flats.
Yeah,
for the next round.
If she
Just
makes
like
it to
Robbie.
the next round, she should bring that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been a crazy round if she played Rascal Flats and Robbie played.
Just would have been a matter of whose phone goes louder.
Yeah, exactly.
This is getting cutthroat, you guys. Things are heating up in the studio right now.
Yeah, I feel so bad for the judges because this round is tough.
It's a tough decision.
Yeah.
You know, you have Cooking Rat on one hand, and then she was right about the different genres and cars, you know? You got everything. So I guess we'll just have to see what the judges decided.
All right, so
after a long conversation
and much deliberation, round 1 of the semifinals is going to Cars.
Congratulations, Sydney.
No, you can't do it. No. No, Ratatouille, no. You can't do this, Ratatouille.
Okay, we're gonna head off to the next one. We'll be right back, y'all. We're gonna send back to our commentators.
Oh God, I mean, I really hate to kick Robbie and Remy while they're down, but I'm gonna have to take them off the board. I'm sorry. The hot, sexy car man moves on to the next round. God,
that was the most chaotic thing I have ever seen on Sneak Peek.
That, was second only to Ryan and Hunter's Jared Leto debate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't seen that, go check it out, because it got pretty crazy. If you think that was wild, you have to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we have Coco and Inside Out.
It's going to be a tough toss-up, so I guess we'll just have to see what happens.
Already, and we're back for round 2 of the semifinals, and we've got Claire back defending Coco, and Andrew defending Inside Out once again. Let's go, y'all.
Okay, so I will preface this by saying Coco and Inside Out are like almost tied as #1 movie for me, so this is really hard. But bringing up some points you brought up, I know the concept of Inside Out, it's a very emotionally intense concept that is a hard thing to teach children, since, you know, Pixar is usually like dubbed as like children's movies, but it's a concept that everyone needs to learn regardless of how old you are. But the thing is, that same idea of a difficult concept to get across in like a more happy or cheerful or way that's more approachable to children is also seen in Coco. You see the first on-screen death in any Pixar movie in Coco. You talk about an intense idea of what happens after death. And even if what happens in Coco isn't what you personally believe happens after death, it still highlights the importance of remembering your family and the strength of family and just how that can stick with you for the rest of your life and inspire your personal choices, and how that support can just guide you in any way, shape, or form. And I just think that that message is something that, again, is hard to teach to children. It's something that I think will strike a chord with anybody, no matter how old you are when you watch this movie. I don't know, I'll just hand it off to you for now.
Okay, well, I wish I had fixed my eyebrows right here, because I'm even more mad than I was in the first round, because I think Coco is a lot worse than Luca. And the thing that you said first, when you said that you think Coco and Inside Out are 1 and 2, I completely disagree with that. I think Coco is towards the bottom. And I think the fact that you did say that Inside Out is tied for #1 shows how universal Inside Out is in the way that it can relate to every single person on this earth. My biggest thing about Coco is that this is a story about family and this is a story about music. With family, we have seen this story 100,000 times. Kid wants to chase his dreams, has an overwhelming family, feels pressured, runs away, then finds solitude with his family. We've seen it hundreds of times.
Is it not seen in Inside Out when Riley runs away when she gets on the bus?
Yeah, but
she also runs away.
She does run away, but she does it in a way that she learns from it, not where, like, she combined everything, where she says, okay, I'm going to take these memories of me leaving and add that to my memories, the sadness of me leaving and the happiness of me being there, and I'm going to continue that together. He just got exactly what he wanted. Riley didn't get what she wanted. What's his name? Miguel? His name's not even Coco, by the way. Miguel, he gets to stay with his family and pursue music, and he happens to be the great-great-grandson of the best musical artist ever lived. He gets everything that he wants. And Inside Out, it's a message about dealing with what you have. Anger, frustration, sadness, joy, everything, and making what you can out of it. Also, this is a movie about music. And the music is okay. Remember Me is okay, but the lyrics are so simple. And there's a 45-minute stretch in this
He
movie.
wrote it for his 2-year-old daughter.
Exactly.
It's supposed to be a simple song.
They wrote this not to be a great song, but to be a tearjerker. And that's another thing.
Well, it won an Oscar.
That's another thing I have wrong with this movie, is that it's just actively trying to get you to cry, instead of being clever about it and having smart film techniques that will then make you cry. It's shoving it in the audience's face instead of letting them figure it out for themselves. But back to what I was saying about the music. I think the music is okay at best. There's one pretty good song, but I think if I heard that song outside of the movie, I have no emotional attachment.
Bro, the Inside Out song doesn't even have lyrics.
And it's still a mid.
No, it's
That's
not.
how great it is.
It's so mid. Anyway.
You were just singing it like 20 minutes ago in that chair.
Okay, listen. It's not shoving it in your face. I don't care. You aren't supposed to know that Ernesto de la Cruz isn't Miguel's real great-great-grandfather. That was literally the biggest plot twist I'd ever seen. It's supposed to that's what I was telling Hunter. It builds up over time. You're supposed to when rewatching it, you catch little hints like the little guitar that Miguel plays on. It has a skull at the end, and the skull has a gold tooth. Also, Hector has a gold tooth. And there's little things that line up over time, and it's just you're supposed to figure out on your own. It's not supposed to be like, oh, by the way, this is a grandfather. No, it's a spectacular story. You figure it out in a gut-wrenching, emotional scene where Hector's about to die because Coco doesn't remember him anymore. And he has to, about to get killed by Ernesto de la Cruz and finally makes it back to the land of the living to finally save his memory. And then Coco, it all comes together so perfectly. It's not in your face at all.
I think it is. However, I think the whole kind of main conflict of the movie is that their family doesn't like music. But then immediately when Coco starts playing something, his great-great-grandma, Hector's ex-wife, I don't know if they're ever married, begins to start singing, and she's amazing. And what? She never relayed that down to Coco, and Coco never relayed that down to her daughter.
Because it was a painful memory for her. And then finally, Miguel literally saves the family.
Was it? Because Coco was brought to tears when she finally heard that song again. That was
out of happiness.
Exactly. It's an emotional thing. It's happy. She loves music. That's literally what kept her alive for that moment. She was on the brink of death, on the brink of dying, right then and there when Coco goes up to her and he's crying, and he sings the song to her and brings her back to life. She loves music. They all love music. Why this whole movie are they against it? When in reality, they know they love it.
Because, Coco wasn't allowed to, she couldn't tell them, oh, by the way, he was a musician. Because she has, dementia. She can't tell them. So they have to figure it out themselves. And again, he saves the day, and he's the one that makes, which, by the way, I will say, the grandma in the movie is really annoying and really, stressful. And she's the one that's always no, Miguel, stop playing music. But he finally makes her open her eyes and realize, oh my gosh, this is a beautiful thing that unites our family. It doesn't destroy our family. Let's accept it. And then they're all a big, happy family.
So he got exactly what he wanted. Is that what we should learn? Is that what kids should learn?
That's what Riley got. That's
not what Riley got at all.
Yes, she
got a newfound appreciation of the place that she's from, her upbringing, her parents, her family, all the memories she's had in the past. That was something new she learned. It's not like she got exactly what she wanted like Miguel did. At the end of the movie, what do you want kids to learn? That they need to take what they have and learn from it and make the best of it? Or that they should automatically get everything that they want in this world? Be the descendant of the best musician ever lived? Have all the great family that's also now supportive of you and wants you to be the next biggest star in the world. Work at the greatest artist ever lived museum. She moves across the country, which is a hard thing for any kid. The news says that moving is the #1 most stressful thing that anyone can do in their lifetime, besides having a baby. She did that when she was 11 years old. She moved to a completely new place, the one thing that she found comfort in, hockey, is no longer there. She has no new friends. She has to make a whole new way of being. And at the end of the movie, she does that. And that's not because everything was just given to her. It's because she took what she got and made stuff with it.
That's exactly how Miguel felt within his own family. No one appreciated or supported his dreams. He had to do it all by himself.
That's not true. His great-great-grandfather was the biggest supporter.
Okay, but he wasn't alive.
And then
he had to
every
go to
single
the
person
land
in his
of the
family
dead.
Alrighty. That's all we're
Bing
gonna
bong, bing
have
bong.
for
Who's
that
coming next
right
clip?
now, but we're gonna go and zoom in a little bit, and we'll go see what Grace and Kelsey have to think.
That got heated.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm having a blast watching them. And if you guys are having as much fun as we are, don't forget to donate to supportstudentvoices.org. Kelsey, what do you think?
It is so hard to say because they were both super passionate about the movies that they were talking about. Like, I genuinely felt, I don't even know if those are their favorite Pixar movies. I would assume so. I would assume so, but you know, just by the way that they're arguing for these movies, it's like I can't even choose myself.
Yeah.
It's so hard to say.
This definitely got a little heated. Maybe not the most heated we've seen, but it's pretty up there tonight. I mean, I don't know.
I think it was the most like
It's the most passionate.
chill heated.
Yeah, chill heated.
Because, you know, they were sitting in their chairs and they just started arguing because they were just so passionate about what they were talking about.
So there was a genuine love for each movie there. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard to judge based on who loves which movie more, you know?
Yeah, but they're both wonderful movies. I think if I personally had to choose, I would lean. It's hard to say because of their arguments. Like, they were just both so amazing.
Yeah.
But personally, I'm a big fan of Inside Out.
Me too. Well,
I love that movie.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've never even seen Coco, but Claire is doing a great job defending it. So obviously, if I had to choose one, I choose Inside Out. But my opinion doesn't matter. So let's see what the judges had to say.
All right, so after much deliberation, semifinals round 2, we have decided to give to Coco. Congratulations, Claire.
Yes.
Oh, sportsmanship. Oh.
Alrighty, y'all, and we're gonna get set up for the finals now. Let's go.
All right, you guys, before we head into the final round, we wanted to give you guys one last look at our losers of the night and see what they have to say about their loss tonight. So, starting with you, Andrew, the most recent loser, how are you feeling?
You know, I don't like the terminology of loser, but
Third place.
I think it was rigged. I think both me and Hunter both had really great arguments, and they're giving it to seniority to Claire. I think Monsters University is also a great film. I think both of us should be in the finale right now. But, you know, it's okay.
Yeah, this should really be versus me and Andrew right now. They kind of gave it to Grandma over there. You know, she was born in the 1980s, so she's starting to get a little senile.
She relates to Coco. You know?
Yeah, she relates to the old woman in Coco, and so sometimes you got to give it to her. And so the judges are being nice, but I understand the call. But I thought we fought hard, and, you know, still not over it.
Fought a good fight.
But if you both were in the finals, which one of you would win?
Yeah. Why don't we get a mini round between the two of you?
Yeah.
Oh, these two films are both so incredible.
Like, I don't know. I don't think I could debate against this guy. Just look at him.
Like, come on, look at this guy.
All right.
All right.
I'm not saying Andrew losing was a highlight of it was.
The eyebrows came
I
off.
think Coco was definitely worth the win here. As for Luca, you know, it's great movie, but, you know, it's not for everybody, so whatever.
Toy Story 2 is still the greatest sequel of all time. But I'm glad that if I had to lose, I lost to Robbie because he put up a heck of a fight. I'm sorry.
Well, wait. Okay, okay. Well, this was horrible. This was literally the worst possible outcome. Cars and all movies. Yeah, that's kind of harsh, Nick. Shut up. You lost, you loser. You were plenty, man. But shut up. Okay.
I'm sorry, Remy.
Hey, a letterbox is a 4.1, 3.4. What the? Hey.
I think that's speaking facts, but I wouldn't say I lost to Cars. I would say I lost to format and timing. I should have brought up Cars too, but I was planning on bringing that up later, and I mean, I'm still pretty salty about Cars.
All right. Well, yes. Thank you guys for coming. I'm sorry about your loss, but you all put up a great fight. So now we're going to see the finale round. Let's take it to the judges to introduce us.
Alrighty, yo, we're heading straight into our final round.
That's right. We have Claire here defending Coco again, and Sydney defending Cars once again, I think in another new shirt.
This one is for the whole caboodle. This is for the best Pixar movie. We're gonna send it straight to Sydney.
Yeah, this is a new shirt. It's a Rascal Flatts shirt. And I'm sorry, Claire, but for a movie that's supposed to be filled with great music, I will recognize Coco does have a great soundtrack. But you know what it does lack? Rascal Flatts, baby. Have you heard Life is a Highway? I am going to write it all night long. Despite being a great song, it seems to align perfectly with the film itself. There's no load that he can't take. Lightning McQueen single-handedly repaved that road and was able to still make it to the Piston Cup. And I think that's, again, a great lesson that we should teach our children. No matter what challenges you face, you can do anything you set your mind to. And again, I'm sorry, but this is another one of Pixar's repeats. We see a sad, sad boy with ambitions, similar to Remy the Rat, with a family that doesn't support him, similar to Remy the Rat. He goes on a journey and then ends up gaining acceptance, similar to Remy the Rat. But you know what the difference is? Remy the Rat's no longer in this challenge, and you know what it is? Cars. Cars is still in, baby, because it's an original plot line, original theme. It's just the best Pixar movie. So
I don't think it's the best Pixar movie. I will say, to your point, Sydney, does Lightning McQueen not just start with something, go through a period of not having something, and then at the end have something again? Is that not following that same plot line at all?
I have to disagree with you. He starts off on top of the world. He starts off in a race. Then he falls off a truck. Who could have seen that coming? I didn't see it coming. Matt fell asleep. Matt. He's so silly, but
Silly boy. Silly goose.
no, like I see there are slight differences. There's some spice in Coco I recognize, but there is not a similar plot line at all like that in Cars. He starts off on top of the world. He gets that all taken away from him. He's left in shambles. And then he ends up making it to the Piston Cup. But he didn't actually get what he wanted overall. He didn't win. The king won because Lightning McQueen realized winning isn't everything. Friendship is. Which is a similar plotline of Coco. Only we don't see the same boring, oh yeah, my family loves me. That's
It's not just about, ooh, my family loves me. It's about going back literally generations of something that has caused turmoil to your family, something that has driven people apart, and looking at it at a new light. And going back to what you also said in the previous round, Sydney, Coco is also so diverse in its genres. Sci-fi, going to the land of the dead, hello, multiverse, and then romance. We see a couple that has been driven apart. They've hated each other for like generations, decades, and then finally, they get back together. Oh my gosh, who would have thought? And just friendship. He has his little dog that follows him around is his spirit guide. He makes him realize things. He makes friends with Hector, and then he realizes Hector is his actual family, and it's a beautiful connection. And I understand that, like, it's technically a movie about music, but it's not a musical. It doesn't have to have amazing songs. Like Andrew said, I know Remember Me isn't the greatest song in any movie ever, but it has a message behind it. And the soundtrack is beautiful, and I don't know. I just think it's gorgeous. It will make you cry. It will make you, like, close your laptop, turn off your TV, and, like, want to call your family and be like, hey, I love you. Like, it has such a powerful message, and I don't care if it's cliche. I think even though, yes, a lot of Pixar movies do follow that, ooh, family, acceptance, whatever, this is by far the only movie that has put that message across in, like, the strongest way possible, and I don't think you can argue with that.
That is all really great points. But as you mentioned, the land of the dead. never been there. And it makes it hard for me as an audience member to fully connect and understand with the characters in the movie. You know where we've all been though? Good old small town USA. Our own personal version of Radiator Springs.
Yeah, but do the cars talk there? Like, do you, like, if you can relate to skeletons, I can't relate to cars.
We got Siri's on our phones, and Siri connects to my car, and my car talks to me through via Siri.
Interesting point you have.
Yeah.
Did you cry at all watching Cars?
Yes.
How? Why?
So this is really emotional for me to talk about. I used to have a tooth gap. I'm sorry. I used to have a tooth gap. And seeing Tow Mater not only wear his tooth gap with pride, but flaunt it on such a level where he didn't let it prohibit him from becoming... I'm sorry.
No, you're right. Representation is so important on screen. Like Coco, the first Pixar movie to feature an all Latino cast, a Latino family, and again, like honoring that culture. That is beautiful. And they did it in a respectful way. And that's all.
I agree, that is really beautiful, but you know what we don't see enough representation of?
People with tooth gaps.
Yes. But also, just a small country boy. We are constantly seeing all glamour, beautiful life. But I'm sorry, I'm still on the tooth gap thing. There isn't enough representation of what some people would call Hickville, USA. And we see that in Tow Mater, and we see that he's beautiful, and it's Larry the Cable Guy. We don't see Larry the Cable Guy in any other movies. I just realized I've never referenced the fact that it's Larry the Cable Guy. Everyone's talking about the voice actors. Everybody's brought up the voice actors. None of them have Larry the Cable Guy, and that's why Cars is the best Pixar movie.
High emotions on the fighting table tonight.
That was heated.
That was heated. I don't know how we're gonna get through this, guys.
I don't either, but we're gonna take some time to deliberate. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna send it back to the commentators for a minute.
What a great round that was.
Emotions are running high in the studio right now.
I know. And one thing too, Sydney was mentioning the voice actors in Cars. Never mentioned that there was a UT alum in Cars.
That's true.
I think that in itself is one of the strongest points.
It's true. Shout out to Owen Wilson.
You know, yeah. If she loses this, it might be
down to that. No matter how compelling her emotions were about the tooth gap representation in Cars.
Yeah. I think it was great though.
Yeah.
Love the tooth gap representation.
Yeah, but Claire did also have a good point about the Latino representation in Coco.
Exactly.
I mean, it was all great. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how I'd begin to make this decision. They were both really coming out swinging with that final argument.
Yeah. I really hope that they, do choose the one that is the better movie.
I mean,
I don't even know which one that would be.
I know.
I hope they're not biased either.
I know, yeah.
I just realized they could be biased.
True. You know what? They missed some great Pixar movies in this too.
Yeah.
If I had to choose one, I would have chosen Finding Nemo.
Yeah. Or The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Or Turning Red.
Yeah.
Representation in that one.
True.
There's a diabetic in there.
That's true. Hey.
No one mentioned it.
Guys.
No one mentioned it.
If we ever do a round 2 of this, Kelsey and I know what we're picking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. I mean, I don't know. This is
still anyone's game.
Even
final round, though.
Yeah. And hopefully next year we get to have the same bracket because Lightyear will be coming out as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that movie will definitely be at the top of the list.
Yeah, we definitely need a follow-up bracket in the future. But for now, I think the judges are ready for our decision, so let's see what they decided.
And it's been a really tough deliberation. We've had to bring in the assistance of some celebrity consultants.
Hello, Walt? Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, Mr. Disney, I'll let them know. I think we got a winner, guys.
All right. The final winner of tonight's bracket is Cars. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Sydney. Go Cars! Coco sucks! Congratulations.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Good job, Sydney.
Yeah.
Cars is officially the winner. Rip it off.
Yeah.
Wow, I mean, what a night that was.
I mean, it was really incredible. I have no idea how they chose.
We laughed. We cried.
cried.
I mean, I was drying my tears over here when Sydney was getting emotional about the tooth gap, you know?
Yeah. And when Robbie pulled out Remy,
Yeah.
I had no idea what to do.
Yeah, when Andrew ripped off his eyebrows after
my gosh.
losing, I mean, come on, you
So
guys. It does not
emotional.
get any better than this.
Yeah. This has been an incredible night, and be sure to continue to donate to supportstudentvoices.org. This was an incredible bracket, and I have no idea how they even chose those movies. There are so many incredible other Pixar movies.
Yeah, I mean, let us know. Tweet us at Sneak Peek TV and let us know who you guys would have picked, you know, because we don't know. But obviously, we have a winner. And let's take one last look at all our contestants over in the studio.
Thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. And please remember to donate at supportstudentvoices.org. And we'll see you next week, Sneak Peekers.
Ah.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
All right.
Yay!
Great job, everybody.
Good job, everyone.